Some fears never leave us. They start in childhood, creeping into the corners of our minds, waiting for the night to return. These are 3 memories that still haunt me. 3 moments that made me fear the darkness forever. 1. The whispering closet. When I was 8, I lived in a small house with a creaky wooden closet in my bedroom. It never closed properly, always leaving a small gap no matter how hard I pushed. At night, I would hear whispers from inside. Faint, almost like the wind, but distinct. Words I couldn't quite understand. One night, I finally gathered the courage to look. My heart pounded as I turned on my flashlight and pointed it at the narrow opening. At first, there was nothing but my hanging clothes. Then, something shifted. A pale, bony hand reached out from between the shirts. I screamed, and the closet door suddenly slammed shut on its own. My parents ran in, turned on the lights, and threw open the door, empty. Just clothes and dust. But I know what I saw. Years later, I found out the previous owners had a child who mysteriously disappeared in that very room. 2. The shadow in the hallway at my grandmother's house. The hallway was long and dimly lit, with old portraits staring down from the walls. One night, I got up to get a glass of water. As I passed through the hallway, I saw movement in my peripheral vision. A shadow. I turned my head, expecting to see my reflection in the glass of a framed picture. Instead, I saw something else, something tall, with hollow eyes and a twisted grin. It stood at the end of the hallway, watching me. I froze. It didn't move, didn't blink, just stared. I blinked, and it was gone. But as I turned to run back to my room, I heard it. Soft, dragging footsteps behind me. The next morning, my grandmother noticed long, dark scratches on the wooden floor at the end of the hallway. She looked at me and whispered, "You saw it too, didn't you?" 3. The face under the bed. My mother always told me to never let my feet dangle off the bed at night. I thought she was just being superstitious, until the night I learned why. I had dropped my favorite toy under the bed, and without thinking, I reached down to grab it. My fingers brushed against something soft. Confused, I peeked under the bed, expecting to see my stuffed animal. Instead, I saw my own face staring back at me. It wasn't a reflection. It was me, identical in every way, grinning widely with hollow, soulless eyes. I yanked my hand back and leapt onto my bed, too terrified to scream. I stayed awake the entire night, paralyzed. The next morning, my toy was on top of my pillow, and written in the dust on the floor beneath my bed were 3 words: "You found me." Even now, as an adult, I can't shake these memories. They remind me that some fears aren't just childhood imagination. Sometimes, the darkness hides things we were never meant to see. So tonight, before you turn off the lights, check your closet, avoid the hallway shadows, and whatever you do, never, ever look under the bed. But now I have to ask you, have you ever experienced something like this? Maybe a sound in the dark? A shadow that didn't belong? Or something watching you? Let me know in the comments. I'll be reading them, and if enough of you share your stories, I might do a video featuring your experiences. And if you love eerie stories like this, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. You wouldn't want to miss what's coming next, because some stories, they don't stay buried for long. Sleep well, if you can.